Well, isn't this some bullshit? Isn't this some bullshit? I got a notification from Facebook. I stand corrected. I didn't get any notification from Facebook that we're not allowed to go live no more. We found out we found out in the middle of trying to go live last Friday that we lost our privileges to go live on Facebook. And would you look at that? Just like that, all of a sudden, without a notification, now we're allowed to stream again. They sat there and told us, hey, Jessica, they sat there and told us we weren't allowed to stream until the 29th of this month, that I was 30 days banned from streaming. I wasn't able to contact people through Facebook Marketplace who were trying to reach out and ask me about some items I had for sale. And just as mysteriously as our privileges went away, they came right back. Lo and behold, here I am, streaming. I'm sick and tired of playing the Facebook guessing game. You never know when you're following the rules and when you're not following the rules. Honestly, it's like an abusive relationship. It's just like an abusive relationship where you never know when your partner's going to flip the fuck out. You never know what's going to piss them off, or when they're going to be angry at you, or are they even going to tell you that they're angry at you? You got to keep asking them over and over again. Hey, sorry, Facebook, what'd I do wrong? What'd I do wrong? Nothing. You didn't do nothing wrong. But you can tell in the tone of their voice, they're mad at you for something. It's just some bullshit. And I have a feeling it has to do with the election. Although as small of a channel as we have, I mean, we're still pretty inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. I don't know why they would have, unless it was just one of those blanket bans. I don't know. But I'm still gonna stick with my guns on this one. I'm still leaving Facebook. You'll probably still see us live stream on our page, but as far as personal information and as far as just giving Facebook my time of day, I do not plan on giving any more. If you guys want to see my family photos and follow me along later on down the road, you know, I'm using them, and I've gone through and deleted literally every post of mine except for a couple. I'm not playing the game no more. Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey, can you see me, hear me?
I can.
Yeah. So all of
Slight
a
lag.
sudden,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
So
I
sudden,
noticed this morning. Oh, sorry. I noticed this morning when it let me respond back to somebody on Marketplace, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm gonna run a test. I'm gonna go on the Facebook page and see if I can go live again. And guess what? Here we are.
so you don't think it had anything to do with the election?
No, I don't know. It could have been, but that's what I'm saying. It's such a just it's such a guessing game. You don't know. You can't possibly know. They didn't tell us that we were shut down. They didn't tell us we were back. Nothing. There's no explanation
Yeah.
why we got blocked in the first place.
Well, for those of you that don't know that are watching this live stream, if you can hear me, what happened was we got probably one of the weirdest notifications from Facebook, and I don't know if you can. Don't even remember what it said. It was something I've never seen before, and they were talking about something or another. But regardless, you and I both seen it. We don't have a screenshot of it. I wish we kind of had it, but it just there was nothing, no notification,
It
no
was something
anything.
like you're not allowed to perform complex interactions or some shit like that.
Well,
I, like
yeah,
even their description of what we're not allowed to do was not clear. So I was playing the guessing game again, trying to figure out what could I do and what couldn't I do. Well, I'm allowed to comment on my people's personal profiles, but I'm not allowed to comment on group comments or group discussions, which is really frustrating because you don't find out that you're not allowed to comment on these things until you go to hit the enter button. So, you sit there and gone and spent the time to, make this argument or make this comment and write it all out. And then you hit enter and then you're like, is it going to go? I don't know. I don't know what my fucking level of privileges are for the day.
Well,
But I do have a theory, and I'm going to talk about it in an upcoming video. I
okay.
have a theory. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, okay. What's kind of your base theory on it?
Well, the theory is, think about this. Everything Facebook does is based on like some kind of psychology shit. They go through and they really know what makes people want to click on shit. And they have got that they got it set up where you kind of constantly get that little dopamine drip, all these little interactions, all these little likes, all the little sound effects, the positioning of everything, the stuff it chooses to show you, everything. What if the blocking thing and the unclear, explanations is all part of that? I mean, think about that. How many chicks do you know, like, will get super super wet over a dude they can never have, and they know they can't have him, and that's what makes them horny? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get excited about the shit you can't have. You want what you can't have. You want to get back into Facebook's good graces because, oh well, I'm sorry, Facebook, I won't let it happen again. This is exciting. I'm blocked now. What did I do now? And now it's like you kind of got this anticipation build up for like a month sometimes of, you know, oh God, when I can get back on Facebook, this is gonna be awesome. I don't know. Maybe there's some psychology there. I'm just brainstorming, but
I don't know. Well, I mean, my theory is because of all the politics we've discussed over the last couple of years on the show, especially through the live feed on Facebook. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled the plug on us a week before. Actually, it was a couple of days. I mean, I don't know how far back it goes because it could have been the previous Friday.
yeah.
And if that's the case, it's been up to 2 weeks that you weren't able to go live.
Well,
And now
the
all of a
previous
sudden,
Friday
the
I
day of
did.
the election, huh?
The previous Friday I did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's been
It
at
it
least,
happened. It
2 weeks.
happened on the 27th at 11 a.m. Whatever it was.
You know.
So
And then all of a
basically, I
sudden,
mean, think about this though. We get blocked a few days before the election. We find out, oh, we're not allowed to live stream until the end of the month. So then we alter our plans to where, well, shit, I guess we're not Facebook living on election day or something. So now, guess what? We didn't make any plans to do that because we didn't think we could.
well, and here's the thing is, I mean, at this point, they probably figure too that, it's election day. Everybody's kind of made up their mind on who they're going to vote for, you know?
Shit, I don't know. Everybody's made up their mind back in 2016.
I don't know, man. I mean, I look at the rallies that Trump has and the thousands upon thousands. I mean, hell, he had 57,000 at just one rally. It's
Yeah,
just, it's
yeah.
hard to see that he's not going to end up winning this in a landslide. I would be really, really questioning, the election itself if he doesn't win this by a huge margin. I mean, I just don't see Biden winning. There's not any indication to show that he's got that much power over Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
As
agree
far
with
as
you.
the
I agree with you. The numbers are not, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just the purpose of this video though is just to A, test and see if we could go live, and B, just to say, hey, I don't know how many of you are done playing the Facebook guessing game too, and I invite you
well,
to join us elsewhere.
well, it's just, I mean, do we just draw a line in the sand right now and just say fuck it and shut everything down and completely walk away from Facebook?
I mean, if we're talking about page and group and everything, man,
I mean, I
I'm
love the
tired of dealing with it.
relationships. I mean,
I mean, if you're going to get out of an abusive relationship, you got to go all the way. You can't just sit there and keep them around for the things you like. You got to sit there. I mean, oh yeah, the sex was good, but he verbally abused me every fucking 10 seconds. Like you can't just stick around for the good stuff that you like.
well, sometimes, but that's just me though. That's just me. No,
Yeah, D says, "Damn, that's a big step to take." And yeah, I agree. I mean, a big step to take was also going through and deleting, all of my past history on Facebook. all the way back to 2013. I was a late bloomer on Facebook. You know, I was one that came in and kept resisting it, and I was like, I don't need that, I don't need it. And then I got back in there, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. I like this. It's useful. It is a useful
Dude,
tool.
I've been on here since 2009.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
were. If the
I'm on a,
sex is good, if the sex is good, they say you can stay. Yeah, well, metaphorically speaking, in some cases, the sex with Facebook is good. But also, I'm tired of playing the guessing games about trying to figure out when I can have sex with Facebook or not, you know?
I mean, like I said, I mean, it's either we keep bitching about it and we complain about them censoring us and rant about it or do whatever, or like I said, we just finally draw that line in that sand and we just completely walk away altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something we need to seriously consider and talk with the community about it too, because there's a lot of people that follow us on Facebook that don't follow us elsewhere. But ironically, um, Puddin sat there and said she was following us on Facebook all the time, watching the videos, and because we were down, she started watching us over on YouTube and says, "Man, I wish I'd have done it sooner. It's much better to watch over on YouTube because I can comment and it keeps the video in place and I can still see you guys." So I guess what I'm there's a huge fear of missing out. I think people have, and they're afraid they're going to miss the latest thing on or whatever on Facebook, so they kind of feel like they have to be there. But I think we just need to go somewhere else and make our own news somewhere else, make our own stories somewhere else.
Well, I mean that it's a shot at our followers. I know that, but I just feel like for the diehard ones, they'll follow. Um, I mean, it's basically having to rebuild because much of what we do is on Facebook. I've got a lot of money tied up in Facebook.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
I
I
was thinking
know,
about,
I know. All
and
the all Yeah, I know. I've
Jesus
spent probably
Christ.
hundreds of dollars through various projects and advertising campaigns, and you know, boosting
Yeah,
posts.
I know I do. But I don't know, man. I, if you decide, I mean, I've already been teetering, I guess, heavily. Like I said on Facebook, I'm 90% show and 10% personal, so I've
Yeah,
already been teetering away anyways, and I think this was kind of the thing that kind of put it over the top for me. Uh, we could talk about it more off the live stream, but I'm good with it, dude. I'm good with shutting it all down. I mean, as long as we can try to maybe give everybody an ample time to let them know what's going on before we do it. I mean, I hate that. I really do, but
yeah,
it's just like, at what cost? I mean, it's
yeah.
just,
The majority of our viewership comes from Facebook, and
well,
all of us know that Facebook is an abusive asshole, but we all stick around
I
because
mean, we've
maybe
been
maybe
grinding.
maybe it's the devil, maybe it's that, maybe it's something like it's the devil. You already know what you're dealing with, you already kind of know what you're facing with this particular challenge, so and you're almost afraid that whatever's out there is going to be worse. I don't know, I'm
Right.
just guessing from the psychological standpoint. Why stick around? I mean,
I don't
I've
see
done,
the
like I said, I've
purpose.
done. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I really don't see the purpose anymore. I mean, yeah, the relationships we've made, um, through the group page and, obviously because of the show, have been great. But then it's just like I'm tired of Facebook having to say on what we can and cannot do on their platform. I understand it's a private company; they can do whatever they want with it.
Hmm.
But we also have a right to walk away from Facebook and give them the big middle finger on the way out
Yep.
and
Yep.
not tolerate this anymore. I mean, for those of it that have been following us for a long time, obviously I've spent a lot more time in Facebook jail, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just tired of it, dude. I mean, it's just I kind of have to hesitate before I post anything now because you don't even know if what you're about to post is gonna get you removed, blocked, banned, whatever.
Yeah. And then you
You
keep
should.
seeing other friends go through it. You keep seeing other friends get banned, and you're like, I'll be back in 30 days. And then you got to, if you want to contact them, you got to try to talk to them through other means. It's like this is ridiculous. This is not. It's not how it should be. What was said here? Puddin says we joined Facebook on the premise that we were allowed to post what we want. Yeah, and it's like the rules are not evenly applied. That's what's bullshit. It'd be different if it was, okay, I could understand if it was like, okay, here's the rules. This is what we expect. This is what we don't allow. A, B, C, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. There you are. That's what we have. And then, for whatever reason, if you end up getting shut down, they're able to point to, section A, subsection B, or, whatever the hell category in their documentation, like, oh, and then you say, oh, okay, yeah, I did do that, okay, and it makes sense, it would make sense, and people would be like, okay, at least I know what I'm getting into, at least I know what I'm getting punished for, so to speak.
But it shouldn't even be that way. You know what I'm saying? It should never even be that way. Not one time have I gotten on mines and had ever hesitated or had a concern about anything that I posted was going to
Hmm.
be physically removed. Not once.
Right.
So,
Right.
I like I said, man, I'm not going to keep it too much longer, but
Oh, you're fine.
I think it's just it needs to be discussed, and I think by the end of the week we ought to figure out what we're going to do, if
Yeah.
not sooner.
I honestly feel like if we're gonna do it, it'll be like something like we give everybody plenty of advance notice, and then we delete all posts on the page, block everything down, and the only thing that's going to be left at the end of this year, at the end of 2020, will be a post saying where they can reach us.
Yeah, I'm good with it, dude.
D asked, "Do you think Minds will get that way if it grows like Facebook?"
No.
No, I don't think so because it's built completely on different principles entirely. Facebook was never built on the principles of free speech and censorship. It wasn't built on that.
Facebook was built on college students being able to connect with one another. Originally the idea behind Facebook was never to go this big or this far, but it wasn't until the Virginia Tech shooting back in 2009 that Facebook exploded. So yeah,
So
no, Minds is a different beast all on its own, and for those that are watching this and that are not familiar with Minds, do your research on it. I mean, we did an interview with Bill Ottman. Now, he doesn't. We didn't really go into the whole, his platform, but the one thing I will tell you is that you see that there is no concern. There's no pause for concern as far as what you're able to post, and that's the beautiful, the beautiful thing about it. And I tell people it's kind of hard to learn a new platform. And the more time you spend on it, you kind of look around and you kind of navigate through the platform itself, it gets
yeah,
easier over time. And this was the same way. Facebook, when I made the transition from MySpace over to Facebook, I can remember, well, vaguely, but I can remember that it was just not the same. You had all the cool little features in the music, playlists that you had on MySpace, and you had your top friends and all this other stuff, and it was really cool. But then over time, the more you used it, and you've seen other people kind of jumping ship over to Facebook, you kind of stuck with it. So I don't know, man. It's just I've always told people Facebook is at the top of the mountain right now, and you can only remain at the top of the mountain for so long before somebody comes along and kicks you off that damn thing. So,
yeah.
but
So
yeah,
uh,
I mean, like
Puddin
I said,
Puddin
dude.
said Puddin says I didn't find mines to be too hard, just new. They do have a lot of features. They're starting to do like the stories feature. They just got that, and
Yep.
they're as far as I last I heard, they're working on getting where we can do live streaming there too. It's gonna be a big step.
Well, and the thing I like about it is because Mines has been around for a little bit, but it's still, in my opinion, still in the early process and in development. I mean, if you look at Minds compared to Facebook or any other social media platform, everybody else is kind of, way behind the eight ball. But
Yeah.
right
Yep.
now, if you get on Minds, you're actually seeing the progress of what this platform is doing. And Bill Ottman has always said, I mean, it's something we discussed on the interview was like, he asked, or it might not have been on the interview, but we talked about, or he asked what some feedback was about Minds, and you said less clicks, and he's willing to listen to the people that are in his community to make it better. It's just you got to say something, and there's been a few times I've reached out to him about certain things, and and he does respond back. So when he can,
Yeah.
it took him like
D
3 weeks
Maria.
before I heard back from him. Uh,
D. Maria says, I've been part of Facebook since 2009, just like you, Anthony. It's been hard to leave it. I have so many memories and connections. I'll gladly fully transfer if I knew everyone would go with me.
and that's the problem.
Yeah,
Is
everybody stays
is
because everybody's there.
right. Yep.
That's the power of crowds, man. The power of networks, and it's a strong power to start. The power of community, the power of the tribe.
Well, and the thing is though is you can also build new relationships and also keep the old ones. I mean, the old ones are always going to be there. They'll
Yeah,
seek you out. They'll call you. They'll text you or whatever. I mean, once I get rid of my account by the end of this week, I'll probably leave Messenger, still active if I'm able to.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's the thing.
I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but what I'm going to do is probably the next day or so, Facebook does give you the option to download all your content, all your photos, videos, and all that. My
Yep.
phone's got like 250 gigabyte, so I've got enough room to store all that stuff on my phone. So, uh, but yeah, I'll start working on that probably tomorrow, since I'm not
Well,
working 12.
it sends the file to your email
Yeah,
after you request it. It sends the file of all your stuff to your email.
yeah,
A download link for everything. And
yep.
it's not a bad idea to do that anyway. If, just to be safe. You never know. I mean, you're going to want that information. That's a lot of people have a lot of family photos and photos of their kids and their pets and their memories and vacations, and I understand it. And it's definitely a good idea to have those backed up somewhere. So definitely, at least if you're not going to leave Facebook, at least do that. Just for sheer housekeeping purposes. But
Yeah, because I don't have any family here in Tennessee, so a lot of the pictures that you see on my personal page are from trips that I've taken. Either family has come here or I've gone there to visit with them. So I want those. And then, of course, I have a lot of photos of my daughter as well, just over the years as she's grown. So,
right,
that's the stuff that I want to keep. But, like I said on my post yesterday that I talked about Facebook and what happened, with us as far as the live stream. It's to a point now where I'm not posting pictures of my daughter. I think the last time I posted a picture of Kelly was over a month ago, if not 2 months ago.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
been a while.
I've become more in the private sector because the more we've branched out as a show, the more you kind of want that privacy to actually
Yeah,
remain. And not everything has to be shared on social media. And that was something I was kind of elaborating in my last post. But I don't know. I just think that I'm at that point now where it's just like I'm just kind of fed up with it. And I want to keep part of my life somewhat private if possible.
yeah,
you know.
it's the damn. For me, it's the uncertainty. It's just the uncertainty of not knowing. Like, when am I going to be allowed to have sex with Facebook? When am I going to be allowed to post? Well, if I do post, is it going to stay up? Is it going to be flagged? Is it going to be like? I don't
Well,
think what I'm posting is bullying. I don't think it breaks any rules. I mean, I'm not, yes, I challenge people. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. I've always been doing that since fucking middle school. You can ask my friend Keith. He's watching now. I've been me and him been having these conversations since back when I met him in high school in 10th grade. It's just
yeah.
it's always been a part of me, and I'm gonna be me, whether the platform allows it or not. You know.
Well, unfortunately, I can't be me because every time I am, I'm in Facebook jail. So, whatever.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just, I know I can be crude and I tend to push the boundaries a lot, especially on Facebook. But I mean, like I said, when I get over on Minds, I know I don't have to, before I hit that send button, I don't have to worry about that. It's like it's a relaxing feeling knowing the next thing we're going to post is actually going to go out there for the world to read and see. On Facebook, it's like, okay, I give it 5 minutes and they're going to take me off there, So I don't know, but
Keith, Keith said Senpai noticed me. Yes, yes, buddy. I know. I see your little icon up there. I see you. I see you. No, again, I think we'll decide what we'll do. We'll talk about it. We'll come up with a game plan, an exit strategy. I think you and I are both on the same page that we are leaving Facebook.
yeah.
It's just a matter of how we actually go about that in a way that makes sense.
Well,
And we're
I
gonna have to
mean,
come up with another way to grow the show, obviously.
yeah, I know it's a setback. It's a huge setback. I mean, I've got, God, I think the last time I checked, I've got like 3,000 followers on Facebook. That's not my friends list. That's just
Yeah,
followers. And
yeah,
then I've
that's
got
crazy.
my friends list as well. And I've always done well on Facebook. Twitter, I like Twitter. It's okay, but I don't know. Never been a big fan of it. And I kind of get on there just to kind of harass Zuby at times and just to retweet a couple of things, but that's about it. But Instagram, hardly use it. And usually when I use Instagram, it's when I've been banned on Facebook. So yeah, but I
Puddin
feel a lot.
says, hey, sorry to interrupt, man, but Puddin says, I'm tired, so fucking tired of everyone else's feelings.
And that's just that though is like we have to do what's in the best interest of what we're doing with the show. If we're not a, I mean, if we're constantly living in fear of what Facebook's going to do to minimize, content that we want to share, then we need to reevaluate what we're doing here and
Yeah, yeah.
find other avenues, find other ways to
But
grow. Because obviously,
I'm,
Facebook, even though it's been it's helped a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's helped us tremendously. But at the end of the day, I don't want to keep battling with Facebook when we could be doing so much more and better on a different platform.
yep.
Minds,
I mean, just look at it like I said, like I think the best way to look at it is as an abusive relationship. If you're not, if and when I have relationships like this in my real life, I don't continue to interact. I just don't. I'm not going to have you in my life if you're going to keep treating me this way. If I'm constantly guessing your mood, I'm not going to do it. It's not good for my personal, mental health. It's not good for anxiety. It's not good for none of that stuff. It's like you be willing to shove that shit out, you know?
and Facebook should never have that much control over your emotions or well-being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they do.
And that's the sad part, and it does, and it also kind of shows us how much we depend on social media to be social, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, when I go over to Minds, and you know, when Bill Ottman reminded one of my posts, that's how you grow. I just tagged him in the post, and he reminded it, and for those that don't know what I'm talking about, reminding is like retweeting over on
Yeah.
Minds. And,
Or sharing. Yeah.
yeah,
Keith says for me, it's just the pain of bouncing between platforms. The school I'm at right now is using Discord. I had to learn that one on the fly. Zoom, WebEx, Teams, UG. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I really do. That does become a pain, and we've been experimenting with a whole bunch of them. And there's quite a few that I spent some time on. I spent, quite a few hours on trying it out, testing the platform, seeing how the community worked, and it just didn't quite work. It didn't feel right. And then there's ones that once I found that would serve the needs of the community and serve the needs of what we're trying to accomplish, then, like Discord, for example, has been awesome. I've absolutely enjoyed
yeah.
it in terms of, interacting with people for the show, just because of the fact that we can, instead of Facebook controlling your emotions and showing you what they think you want to see, it's like I can go in there and look at the subtopics that we have in there. You know, we have our main topics, you know, between relationships, bold ideas, LOLs, you know, stuff like that. We've set it up that way where if I don't want to interact with you about politics, or if I don't care about politics, I just, you know, mute that particular channel. I don't have to hear it. I can choose, the people can choose what they want to hear and what they want to see. And that's much better for your own mental health as well. Um, to where you're actually in control of what information you go seek out. I think that's a much healthier way of obtaining the news, the information that you're looking for.
Well, and I think a lot of it too is when people do make that transition over to Minds, they start to realize, they'll start to understand that feeling of you don't hesitate before you post
Dude, it
something.
feels
And
different too. Just in terms of what
yeah,
it's actually showing us. It's not showing me, it's showing me the people that I subscribe to in the order in which they post in reverse, what's it called? Reverse chronological order.
yeah,
And it's like, I don't feel like mine's is like having an agenda and trying to shove my own views down my throat. You know, I
no,
don't feel like they're trying to manipulate or control, and when I'm ready to get off mines, I don't have that need to, oh, what's this next thing that's peeking up down the bottom here? You know, I just, I get off. I go on about my life. I check my notifications and move on. And like I
yeah.
said, it's just, I'm not, it's different. It's a different feeling, honestly.
It is. I mean, I know when I first logged on and I've become, a lot more active on there, but I like the fact that you get paid to post, share, and remind things. And,
Well,
you know,
rewarded anyway. Yeah.
well, you reward it, and then like, oh shit, I've got 3 tokens. I can go in and boost something else. Instead of me spending, ungodly amount of money that I have on Facebook to boost something. I have not had to spend one dime on mines to be able to boost. Kind of like the interview we did with Bill, and it's got 5,000 views, and you're probably thinking, oh well, that's nothing. Well, considering the fact that I've only got 53 subscribers and I'm only following like 30 people, and my
Yeah.
channel's already got 10,000 views, and I've only been on there for about a month now. That's
Yeah.
not bad statistically if you look at it.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
thinking if I actually really applied myself to mines, those numbers will definitely increase. And it's something that Facebook hasn't done for me. So again, it's got its pros and cons, but obviously
Yeah,
it's been,
everything's got a trade-off. It's, you know, there's no easy answers here. There's no easy solutions. It's just trade-offs. You know, are you more concerned about your mental health? And you know, which for me I am. I'm more you know, that really, it played with my emotions too much. I was pissed and scared at the same time. I'm like, oh shit, because
triggered.
I huh?
Were you triggered?
No, no, it wasn't a triggered. I was pissed because I was confused and I didn't know what happened or why. But I was also scared because one of my streams of income, I use Facebook Marketplace. Like
Yeah.
that's how I feed my family, dude. Like, and I'm being told I can't respond until the end of the month. For 30 days, I can't sell shit. And I'm like, dude, that's unacceptable. I'm not going to let somebody control my income that way or control my emotions so strongly. I shouldn't have been scared and pissed over a fucking social media platform.
No.
That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit.
That's when you really have to start to reevaluate, what you're doing and why you're doing it, and ask
Yeah.
yourself, is it's even worth it? So
No, no, it's not. And I spent, again, you know, how many hours have I spent on the platform, and how many hours did I spend again on the platform just trying to use their tool for deleting posts? That was a frustrating journey as it was, because the tool
yeah.
doesn't work as smooth as everything else on the platform does. Surprise, surprise. You know, they don't spend a lot of time working on the tools that, you know, that help you leave, but
No,
they sure do got that other shit down to a science, don't they?
man, I tell you what, Facebook is like the biggest drug out there for social media. And, it's just, in order to break that habit, you have to get a cut. Like, I've actually, on my phone, okay, to kind of give you an idea of what I did. So on my phone screen, Facebook is the icon has always been in that one little spot on my phone, right?
Yeah.
So I've now taken Facebook off my main screen, which means I've actually got to go through my apps to find it. So I've taken it with mine. So it's a habit of right there, So I don't have the icon of Facebook in there anymore. I've got Minds. So I'm telling myself, okay, I'm gonna go to Minds. I'm gonna go to Minds. I'm gonna go to Minds. But then I have to scroll through my apps to find Facebook. I'm like, ah, shit, whatever. I'll just get on
Sorry.
Minds.
Hey, Anthony,
Yeah,
you broke up for a minute. Can you say that again about the Facebook icon location?
yeah.
You broke up.
I replaced. I had moved in place of the Facebook icon on my home screen to back into my apps. I took it off of there, and by doing that, I replaced it with Minds, the Minds icon.
Hmm.
So now I'm retraining my mind. I'm not really actually retraining it. I'm still doing the same thing I did. It's just rather than Facebook, there, I've put Minds in its place,
That's what I
and
need to.
that's
That's what I need to do because I didn't realize how bad of an autopilot I had for clicking into Facebook until I'm trying not to go to Facebook, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I'm on Facebook again. What the fuck?" I've done it like 4 or 5 times yesterday. I'm sitting there like
yeah,
trying to like check notifications, and next thing I know, I've clicked Facebook, and I'm like, I didn't even remember doing it. It's like this weird autopilot thing.
yeah. So take your icon, put it back in apps, take it off your home screen, and then in its place put Minds.
Yeah, Megan Michael says I move my Facebook icon all the time, so it's not so easy to just robot check it all the time. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's so frustrating. Oh my God. I'm like, this is, I know about human habits and behaviors and stuff, and I still catch myself doing this shit all the time. It's like, oh, this is
Well,
so frustrating.
that it is one way of breaking that habit, and like I said, it's just replacing replacing one icon for another, and you'll find yourself becoming more active on Minds and forgetting that Facebook even exists. I have taken Facebook completely off my home screen. It's not even
Dude,
on there.
hey,
And
have you heard what Joe Rogan says? He has all of his uh I social media apps way back on the back side of his phone. You got to scroll all the way back, and it's in a folder called Addict. So he has to
well,
click that to even get to Twitter. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like such a great idea.
yeah, it's not a bad idea, but I guess because of the privacy and the policies that Facebook implemented back October 1st, when I look at Facebook icon now, it's like I got to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to bother with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through so much shit and been banned for the stupidest stuff and it's been irritating. I only got on here because I got the notification that you went live.
Yep.
Um, and that's I don't know if you can turn that feature off or not. I got to look into that. Maybe there is. If there is, somebody post in the comments. That way I know how to do it. But
Jessica said, I just joined Minds, and she says, my husband's folder says waste of time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a good tool. Like, I don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. I don't even know where to start. They got
and you
such
know that we
great engineers and designers and, user interface designers and all that. They do such a great job. They know what they're doing. It's a great tool. It's a well-designed tool.
Yep.
But
Well,
it's like hopping into a fucking well-designed vehicle that you've always fucking wanted, and the thing shoves a spike in your ass every 10 seconds, or suddenly jabs you in the chest with the steering wheel once in a great while. You never know when it's going to happen. It's like,
well, when people ask me like, what is it like over a Minds and how I can compare it? Well, Facebook is like a Bentley. Minds is kind of like a Pinto. It's a
a
little
dependable a dependable Pinto.
yes, a dependable Pinto, but but a but a Bentley is like a kind of car you want to keep parked in the garage. But every once in a while, you want to get back on there and just kind of see how it drives. But with your Pinto that you drive every day, you love it. It's dependable. and you keep going back to it, So I don't know, but what I was going to tell you is
That's
that
great.
I think that we can actually create another group page for mines. So you might want to look into that.
It's already on there.
Oh well, shit. You haven't invited me, asshole.
But I haven't like worked on it.
Well, I guess it'd
As
be a
far
good
as
time
far
to work on it,
so,
wouldn't it?
sorry, as far as group activity, it just seemed to work better using Discord. I'm trying to make it so we're not like everywhere, where people can pick a spot and follow us.
Well, no, but if they go to Minds and they're using it as a social platform, the group page is
Yeah,
going to
that's
take
probably the
place as
move.
a page.
Yep, you're right. That's probably the move. I need to go ahead and get that more visible, I guess.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna hop off here. I'll probably be working on a video about my walking away from Facebook. If you want to include some stuff in there, talk to me, and I'm trying to make it a short, less than 10-minute video.
when are you looking at pushing that?
Well,
Do you know?
I got to collect all the footage and make it, but we'll talk shop after later on. But let's hop
Yeah,
off here.
that's fine.
Let people get on
I'll
with their
see you.
day.
Yeah, I'll see you Friday for the show, and then I'll see you Saturday for the bonfire.
Cool. My parents will be here
Oh, sweet, good. Okay, good.
for
All
Friday.
right, man. I'm gonna take my ass off here and go to bed.
All right, y'all. Thanks for
All right, brother.
watching. Peace out.
Yep.